Let's go. Okay, how's it going, YouTube? I'm Shadow Shadnik, and as I'm recording this video, we are about a month away from the Black Ops 6 full launch, and I had to give you guys a Black Ops 6 video to coincide with that. I think I've got about 2 or 3 more gameplays of the Black Ops 6 beta on my hard drive. I didn't want to upload too many of them before the game actually released. I didn't want to run out of Black Ops 6 beta gameplay, so I wanted to make sure that I held on to them a bit. But now that we're about a month away, I wanted to, give some more Black Ops 6 gameplay to you guys. And Treyarch actually gave us an update on some of the things that they've been working on since the beta has obviously ended. And I kind of wanted to go over some of those changes with you guys, as well as talk about the Modern Warfare 3 update that went down yesterday. So we're going to start with the Modern Warfare 3 update. Yesterday, we did get an update. They started a new Walking Dead event. There's always a new event that's going on with Call of Duty with like some challenges for XP and some sort of camo. There's a new Walking Dead camo that's out there. They also updated with a new aftermarket part, which I was actually kind of surprised by. I wasn't sure if we were going to get any more aftermarket parts or how many we were going to get. And that continues moving forward. I'm not sure if we're getting any more as the season progresses. It's a very short season. And again, Black Ops 6 is a month away. So not sure how many more we're going to be getting. But this week we did get an MX Guardian aftermarket part. The MX Guardian is a shotgun from Modern Warfare 2. And this aftermarket part doesn't change the gun from being a shotgun. And I know some aftermarket parts change that. Some of them would be like an LMG that would turn into a sniper rifle, or a sniper rifle might turn into like an assault rifle. But in this case, it still is a shotgun. And it just kind of changes the slug rounds. It kind of gives it like air slugs, kind of, sort of. It's a weird, kind of weird, gimmicky aftermarket part. It is a one-shot hit. It does kind of nerf your velocity, but you can kind of hit far shots if you lead your shots. It's a weird, gimmicky aftermarket part. And my overall opinion on aftermarket parts is kind of that, is that a lot of them kind of seemed like they were gimmicky. Don't get me wrong, there was more than a few that were really strong and powerful. The Jack Revenger for the BP-50 really stands out in my mind. Really strong aftermarket part that was utilized in multiplayer and Warzone. But then there was other ones that were really terrible, like this MX Guardian one, as well as the one for the Modern Warfare 2 Magnum, the pistol. That one was really terrible too. I feel like I unlocked that one and literally didn't use it in multiplayer or Warzone whatsoever. I didn't hear anybody using it, and I didn't see anybody using it. So some of them were useless, gimmicky, specialized. Some of them were really good and honestly quite usable and quite enjoyable. So on paper, I think that the aftermarket parts really look cool. You're fundamentally changing the way a weapon that you're familiar with and how it actually operates. So it's a good idea on paper. I just think that execution-wise, it left a little bit to be desired. So moving into Black Ops 6 and some of the changes that Treyarch has made since the beta has ended. They gave us some photos of some of the maps in the overview, the overhead view of like the mini maps of a lot of the new maps that are coming in this game. And just from like looking at it, these maps look like they're a little bit larger than some of the maps that they gave us access to for the beta here. And a lot of them don't really seem like they're super simple 3-lane maps too, which is always nice to see. And that was kind of one of my biggest gripes with the beta. It just felt like the maps that were available were a little bit too small, a little bit too claustrophobic for my liking. These maps that I'm seeing here don't seem to be that. Obviously, we can't see some of the lines of sight. These are not like images. We can see an image of these maps, but we'll see how they play out. Looking at it from this perspective, it just looks like they're adding maps that seem like a lot more like Rewind in terms of size. Like there's buildings, but the overall big size of the map is on the larger side, which is nice to see. They also made some changes to the movement. There's an intelligent movement update, just kind of adjusting like the sprint assist, the mantle assist, and the crouch assist, and just kind of making it more smooth and fluid. They also changed, it's kind of like a weird thing where like if you had like a dead slide, it's kind of known as a dead slide, where you would sprint forward, and instead of sliding when you hit your slide button, you would just crouch, because the crouch button and the slide button are actually the same. So they kind of changed it so if you are sprinting forward and you are intending to slide, that is actually going to slide instead of just kind of giving you a crouch. And when you crouch, it literally just stopped your movement. So there was none of that, and completely was not fluid. So it's nice to see that they're actually adjusting the fluidity of the game and the movement, especially since that's kind of the biggest selling point to this game, at least for me. Why would you want to play Black Ops 6 over Black Ops Cold War, especially considering Black Ops Cold War only came out 4 years ago? It's very similar to this game. Well, it's the movement. So the fact that they're actually harping on that is very nice to see. And in the gameplay here, I actually get an execution here on this player here, or the hostage. And I really like this mechanic. I just wanted to mention that I wish that it wasn't quite as long, even as someone that gets these hostages. It just seems like you're taking a player out of the game for quite a long period of time, and you're actually able to do an execution after that. So you can take them hostage for that entire amount of time and then perform a finishing move on them afterwards, which is just, it's kind of a little ridiculous. I just wish they would shorten that a little bit. Again, they didn't make any mention about the hostage situation. That's just kind of something I would like to see in the future. But moving on, they did reduce the winner's circle time. So the end of the match, when you're in the winner's circle, you're actually able to stand there. I don't know how long it is in the beta, but they've reduced it so you don't have to stand there as long. And that's just a big dub update for me. I stream the game and I play the game a lot, and it's an arcadey, fast-paced game. You don't want to be standing there looking at menus or looking at scoreboards or looking at winner circle. We want to be playing the game as much as possible. It's just fast-paced, boom, boom, boom. No reason to be spending time in the winner circle. They've also added a kill counter to the HUD, or the heads-up display, which is great to see because I really could have used that in my last Black Ops 6 video where I fumbled the nuke. I had no idea what kill streak I was on. I had no idea how many kills I had that life. It would have been nice to have a little counter on the side automatically in my HUD. And again, in Black Ops 6, you can customize your HUD to have it be what you want it to be. So to customize it, to put a kill counter there would be really, really nice. Helpful for me when I'm hunting for nukes. And heads up, I am going to be hunting for some nukes. So if you want to see me hunt for some nukes in Black Ops 6 when the launch of the game actually comes out, definitely drop me a like down below, as well as a comment. Say, hey, Shadow Shadnick, I want to see you drop some nukes in Black Ops 6, and I'll try and make that happen for you guys. They also made some changes to some of the game modes. They made a really big dub update to Sleeper Agent. I know some people are kind of controversial on the Sleeper Agent, and if you don't know what Sleeper Agent is, it's essentially a field upgrade that basically makes you on the enemy team, or at least appear like you're on the enemy team. It gives you the same color above your name as the enemy team. So if an enemy sees you, you're going to be the same color as them. The only way that the enemy can tell that you're on the enemy team is that they might be able to recognize your name and be like, hey, no, that's an enemy name. That person killed me earlier. I know you're an enemy. Or if you accidentally shoot that player, they will get hit markers, and you also get aim assist on that player as well. So if they run by you and your gun kind of turns a little bit, you kind of know that they're an enemy, and if you shoot them, you'll get hit markers. But the biggest change that they made to Sleeper Agent is that they removed the time added while earning eliminations while in Sleeper Agent. So if you had Sleeper Agent active, it was kind of like how Dead Silence worked back in Modern Warfare 2019. When you got a kill, it completely reset it, so it just kind of continued. And if you kept getting kills within a certain amount of time, your Sleeper Agent would essentially never end. And they've adjusted that, so it's already kind of a broken mechanic, and it makes sense to me. You don't want to give people rewards for using an ability that basically allows them to shoot enemies in the back non-stop. So why would you give them refresh on that when they're just shooting people in the back? It makes sense to me anyway, on paper there. Happy to see some of these changes. I want to say, like, a lot of the changes that they're making are dubs from my perspective, especially having spent as much time as I spent on the beta. Another improvement that they made is the bullet penetration systems. If you know anything about Call of Duty, when you shoot through a surface, generally, first off, not every surface is shootable. You can't shoot through every surface in Call of Duty. Secondly, when you do shoot through a surface in Call of Duty, generally the damage is reduced on the other side of said surface. But in Black Ops 6, for whatever reason, it just seemed like any surface you shot through, you got full damage on the other side. I don't know what that was about. It seemed like everything was paper thin, even the concrete in the game. And it's not like new for you to be able to shoot through concrete in Call of Duty, but you're not supposed to be able to have that damage on the other side. So it seems like they worked on the bullet penetration, just made it seem like it's a little bit more realistic. Again, this is an arcadey game. It's not supposed to be super realistic, but let's actually have a clear-cut system that makes sense, that works. If you shoot through something, it should take some of your gun velocity and damage away. It just makes sense. Overall, these improvements that they're making in the game, or the changes that they've made since the beta has come out, it just seems like they're working very hard, as they should. I mean, this is the game that's being released in less than a month, so you would expect them to work diligently on it. And that being said, I really just think that this is probably going to end up being one of the more polished, smoothest Call of Duty releases at launch. Treyarch has had a lot of time to work on this game behind the scenes, as well as just this needing to be a dub for Call of Duty in general. Going back to the Modern Warfare series and kind of remaking a lot of those maps and giving us a lot of the old weapons that we used back in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare COD 4, it just seems like it didn't really hit as well as they really wanted it to, especially after what happened with Modern Warfare 2019 and this big resurgence of Call of Duty and Warzone. It just feels like Black Ops 6 really needs to win, especially the zombies mode, because I will harp on this till the game comes out, until either the zombies mode is terrible or good. This game needs to have a great zombies mode, because the last time we had really any round-based zombies mode was Black Ops Cold War, which was 4 years ago, and they keep trying to give us zombies. They tried to give us zombies in Vanguard. They tried to give us zombies in Modern Warfare 3, and it didn't work. So happy to see that this game is making improvements and they're working hard on it. That being said, I want to give you guys a shout out that on October 25th, when the game releases, that is a Friday. So the Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday leading up to the release of the game, I will not be going live. I will not be streaming. I will be playing Call of Duty, but it'll be on my own personal time. Don't expect to see me going live. I will still be doing a video. We're not going to be missing out on any videos, but that week we're not going to be streaming leading up to the game. When the game does fully launch, I am planning on doing at least a 24-hour stream. That being said, we are out. Peace.